Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lindy Sherries, and today I'm going to talk about domains, web hosting, cPanel. This is just to show you guys that this is easy. You can have your website and create it yourself. So I'm trying to uncomplicate and make it simple so that everyone can create their own websites. I know I'm talking from a technical view, but then really guys, I will show you step by step on how to do this domain registration and also how to create a website. So I will be recording more videos on how to create your website. So for now, let's just start with the first step. In order for you to have an online presence, you need to have a domain, and that domain needs to be registered on a domain register. So I currently use GridHost. GridHost, it is cheap, so that's why I use it. So what I did, I bought a package which is a Linux package, which allows me to have 5 subdomains, meaning I can have 5 domains. So my NGO, my website, and my other websites lives on this package. So I just pay one amount, and every year I'll pay 99 rand in South African rands, and that's just to pay for the domain name. So it's not a complicated one. The only complication is hiring someone to do your website. It can be expensive depending on the type of website that you want to do. But then if you just want a basic website, don't worry, I've got you covered. So you will grow, you will click the link that I will provide in my description. You can just check the description, you'll see GridHost, and it'll open a page like this. So you will type your website, say your website name is Honey Bee Sweet, just to be unique. And now remember, each and every name must be unique, because you might find out that it's taken. So you'll have to choose whether you want it to be a .co.za or a .com. Now remember, if you choose .com, it is going to be a bit expensive, but not too expensive. But if you choose .co.za, if you are in South Africa, it will be very less. For example, now they're saying for 89 rand a year, you can get a domain. But then if you were to choose .com, it's 200 rand, somewhere there. And you can even buy this domain even if you in America. So anyone from all over the world can buy a domain. You can just buy from anywhere. So I trust GridHost because I've used them for more than, I think, 10 years now. So you search for your domain, because you need to search for it first to see that no one owns it, because if someone owns it, you cannot have a website with the same name. So you click search, and after it's search, if the name is Honey Bee Sweet is not available, then it will say it's not available. But if it is available, you see Honey Bee Sweet is not available. And I thought I was creative. So let's say Honey Bee Sweet Love. I'm just going all out now. Then we'll keep searching, and if it's available, then you'll see what is a domain, just to explain. Oh, great. Honeybee is available, so you can order. Now remember, when you click and you want to register your domain, and if it's available and you don't take it, and maybe after 5 minutes someone takes it, it won't be available anymore. So make sure you have your names right before you click here, and you are sure about your names, because once you register it, you won't be able to change it. If you want another one, you'll have to pay again. So if it's available, you just add to cart and then continue with checkout. And then after, they'll send you in their email address that you registered with a cPanel path and login. So then you can just log into your cPanel. I'll show you what a cPanel is. It's like a back office where you can set up your emails, where you can set up your FTP, where you can set up, you can even create a database for your membership if your website is going to have a membership. So what is a domain? The final question is, what is a domain? A domain, it's like a name in your in internet that identifies your website. So for example, for you live in a world and there's streets, there's houses. So for your home to be identified, it needs to have an address. So the same thing with domains, it must have an address, except those addresses are called IP address. So it's a string of numbers like 14.195.65. one, you find that that's your IP address. That's the address for your domain. So when they click www.lindysherries.com, they'll be given an IP address, but that IP address will go and link into my website. So so this IP address, the reason why we have to have a domain name is because if you have a business and you give to someone and say, you can check my website, they cannot go and click www.1245. That's a number that they won't remember. So a domain name is something easy to remember. So for example, now if you want to go to my website, you click www.lindysherries.com. It's easy to remember than an IP address. But then the computer behind the scenes sees the IP address. So what you do when a person types www.lindysherries.com, the computer, that name gets sent into something called DNS, which is a domain name system. And that domain name system goes and search for that IP address and brings your website. So in simple term, a domain name is a name that associates with your website. But the name of that website, it's the behind name is the IP address. So don't get confused and don't worry yourself about the technicalities of the IP address. Just know when you register honeybees, you don't need to remember the IP address or even care. The domain, the DNS will go and search for that name when someone looks for it. And I think we need websites, especially if you want to have an online presence where you're selling something. Remember I say go big. Don't go small. And I mean, we cannot go and sell in small shops anymore. I mean, the world is going global. The world is going digital. The world is going for fourth industrial revolution. So if you playing small and you're not selling your books or your products internationally, then start selling international. And if it is a product that you can sell international, I mean, we have things like drop shipping. We have things like print on demand where you don't even need to own a shop. You can just have a website that you can create with their software and have that shop running, and you just connect your payment method. You don't even need to worry about how the t-shirt is printed and delivered, but that's another video for another day. Today we're talking about domain names. And after creating a domain name, you will need web hosting. Web hosting see it as a big computer that have different computers which are called web servers, and that web server is like a big shopping mall with different shops, and you are buying space for your files and your documents to live. So depending on the type of website you want to create, say you're creating a simple website just to show your product. So if you're not going to need a lot of bandwidth, so you select the size and the bandwidth that you will need. So obviously the price will be low, but then if you're going to use different algorithms that will require more space and more bandwidth, then obviously you increase the size. So web hosting is just a place which connects to other computers. It's called web server, which you can use to even create your email address. In order to create your email address, it must sit on web host. It must sit on web hosting. So let's just go to control panel so that when you buy your domain, you know what's the next step. So obviously when you buy your domain, the next thing you want to create is your email address. And when you create your email address, you do that in control panel. Let's go to control panel. So a control panel is something that looks like this. So the web hosting company that you use, like for example, GridHost, they will send you an email with your control panel details. So when you click the link, you will connect into something that looks like this. And this is the inside of control panel. You can go and see your file managers. When you click your file managers, it will take you to different subdomains. Subdomains, remember I said you can have up to 5 domains in this. We're in this control panel. That's why I like buying a package instead of buying one package, which will only allow me to create one website, one domain. So each and every website needs its own domain. And you can also create your emails. So it's easy. You just click email and then you click create, and then you select that website, that you want to, the domain which you want to, and then you enter the name, say it's Lolly or Lolly at lindysherries.com, and then you set the password, and then you would just click create. Voila, now you have your email, your first email address created. You can create a whole lot of emails, and there's a limit, but the limit is not less than 20. You can create even more than 20 emails on this one. You can create your forwarders, you can import your email addresses, you can even check your email disk usage, and you can even access that email. For example, if I want to access one of the emails, I'll just go to one of the domains, and then I would click check email. And then I have the emails inside here. I can even send an email. So you see, it's easy. All of that is done for you. You just need to create an email address that you want. So already we now have emails. You can create your emails. You can create your FTP account. You can create a web disk. So a web disk is, for example, if you want to access your website files, you can create a web disk. So you can just click it on your desktop, and then it'll open your website files. It's not that complicated. I know it might look like it's complicated. It's not. You can even create your database. You can see, you can create a database. Say you have a membership, you want people to log in and be members on, you want a table, you can create. So I'll take you through what a database and what's a table training in one of the videos. So it's easy, guys. You can create that. It's easy. It's just drag and drop. You don't need to worry about the technicalities. You can even have your e-commerce shop. There's more. You see, you can even have your calendars. These are added things which you can download as well to create extra in your website. So this is what a cPanel look like. So after having this and creating, I think the main thing that you will need to know is how to register your domain. After registering, you will have a cPanel. Then you will have control of what emails are created and their passwords. Instead of relying on someone to create that for you, it is easy. You can create it yourself. And the next video that I'll be doing is how to create a website in 30 minutes using Kartra. And I'll show you guys, it's really easy. I created my website using Kartra. So I think you can do it. It's easy. I'll show you. And this is what you need to know. And remember to subscribe and hit the bell notification and comment on what you want specifically for me to record and start with for you to continue. But then we can all have this online presence and touch globally and make money globally. And I think having a website is a good thing, especially if you don't need to spend too much. I mean, it's affordable, guys. It is affordable. The only expensive thing is hiring someone, a web developer, to create it for you. But if you just want a basic website, you can just come and create your domain and select your web hosting. And after, you'll have cPanel to have your files. And the next step I'll be taking is just for you to create your websites. That's it from my side. Thank you so much for watching and for your support. I'm forever grateful. And I hope now you know what's a domain, and all these technical terms, they shouldn't scare you. It's just names. And thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to comment and tell me what you want me to record.